Hey YouTube, okay, this is now my third video in a row. The reason I make 3 videos in a row, in case you haven't watched the other videos, is because I'm currently deployed, and because of my work schedule, I have a lot of free time right now, so I want to get as many videos done right now as possible, and then I'll edit them and distribute them spread out later, but right now I think the key is to get them developed or produced. So today, or right now, I want to talk to you about how I organize just my savings accounts, okay? I actually have 4 savings accounts. Saving account number 1, my emergency fund. My emergency fund is designed to be very liquid and to be very safe. What it's for is, since I have a house, I keep my emergency fund so that I can fix any 2 major problems at the same time. So let's say my refrigerator broke and my hot water heater broke at the same time. I can fix both of them at the same time, or I can fix one major structural problem. There's 2 main things with buying a house that you really have to be concerned about. One is eventually the HVAC system's going to go. I have 2 houses, so that means I have 2 problems with it. But my rental property has its own account attached to it, so we're not going to talk about that right now. But in my primary residence, if the HVAC system goes, that's going to be about 10 grand or more. My roof, when that needs to get replaced, is going to be more than that. My upcoming house repair is the whole house has to get repainted. But scheduled maintenance is different than emergency stuff. Emergency stuff is like if my HVAC just suddenly stopped working and I need to redo the whole thing. So I keep my emergency fund in a invested account, but a safe invested account. I actually use the app Acorns to produce it. For those of you that don't know, and this is, I told you guys from the beginning that I would tell you if I'm actually pitching something to you. And this is, I'm not affiliated with them or anything, but I will put my link down in the words of John Green down in the doobly-doo. And if you want to sign up for it, you can, and you can use my link, and then we both get, I think, like free $5 or something in there. That's if you want to sign up on my link. If you just want to sign up, that's totally cool too. Now, here's why I like Acorns. Acorns is an app that will link up to an account. So I have it linked up towards both my credit cards that I use and my checking account. And each time I spend something, it will round it up. So if I spend like $1.50, it'll round it up to $2. So obviously the merchant gets $1.50, and then the other 50 cents goes into my Acorn account, and then it just invests it. The reason I like it is because it is invested. Now, I only collect like 2 or 3% a year off of the investment, but that's still 2 or 3% a year. Granted, it could go down, and I know a lot of people are sitting there thinking like, well, why would you invest your emergency fund? Like, what if the economy tanks and you need to get a new transmission on your car? The reason I do it is because I have a very little credit card balance. So if I had to do that, I would rather use my credit card to pay whatever I need to do, and then I would take the money out of the Acorns. I can afford to hold it for a month or 2. I'll just pay the interest. That'll suck, but I'll pay the interest on the credit card for a month, wait for the market to improve slightly, and then sell off there. But also, I also have it in a very low risk. In Acorns, you can actually tell them how much risk you want to take. And I think there's 5 categories. You have it like very risky, moderate, low risk, and then like really low risk, something like that. So I have it in this one. It's like low risk. So with low risk, I don't feel like I'm risking very much. Now, again, take this for what it's worth, because what we just talked about could happen. I could have the whole economy could crash. I could lose 50% of that value, which right now it would go from $4,000 to $2,000, and now I have to use a credit card and I have to keep that balance on my credit card longer than I want to. But I've been doing this for, it's been like 5 years since I started Acorns, and I've never had that problem, so I'm pretty comfortable with it. My second account is my reserve account. This is the most underfunded savings account I have. This is supposed to have 6 months worth of my income in there. Now, as we discussed in a previous video, I am a U.S. intelligence contractor. I deploy and I teach the U.S. military different things, and I do other stuff that honestly I'm not going to talk about on YouTube. So I make pretty good money. But the thing is that I have, in my mind, I have so much equity built up in my rental property that if I really had to, I could use that. But it is something I'm lacking on, it's something I am working on. So luckily for me, with my current goal, is that my reserve would count towards my $500,000 by the end of next year, net worth. So I'm going to start putting more money in there. I haven't figured out how much yet, but stay tuned for that. Third is regular savings. Now, in my regular savings, some people put, like, they mix their, like, sort of fun savings with their not fun savings. Not fun savings for me is mostly stuff that's due once a year. My car registration, my Amazon Prime, my HOA for my rental, even my carrying cost for my rental, because each year the lease gets renewed, so I have to make sure I have money in order to carry it. Now, the thing is about that, not right now, but I have plans in the future to have my own account set up just for my rental property, so that I can pay mortgages out of that account, stuff like that. I haven't gotten around to it yet because I want to create a business entity around it, and I'm not entirely sure how to do that and what my risks are by doing it. So as I do research on it, I'll let you know about that. But the savings account's mainly just for stuff like that, and in my case, when I'm deployed, I make really good money, but when I'm home, I only make a little bit of money, because basically I'm not working. I just hang out, and my company pays me a retainer just to stay at home and not do anything, but it doesn't really make you as much. I still need money in my savings to be able to live off of. So in that account, I put all my money that I need to live off of. The reason I put that in my savings is that that is sort of my reserve for when I go home. But it's like planned reserve. Now, my fourth account is a goal account. In my goal account, it's usually a joint thing between me and my fiance, and we have one joint savings account that we both put money into, and we have a joint checking account. Well, let me not get ahead of myself. We are currently making a joint checking account. We're still working on it, though. It's kind of hard to get out. With her being deployed and me being deployed, it's kind of hard for us to both get on the phone and call the bank. But out of the joint checking would come all mandatory bills. But on the joint savings, you know, as I watch myself do this on the screen, I see that I keep spinning. The reason I'm doing this is because I'm actually in a shipping container right now. It's made into an office, and it's not level. So I'm in a swivel chair, and as you can see, I slowly spin in the swivel chair. So forgive me for the spinning nature of myself. I can't really do anything about it in this position because I can't move the camera at all because we're overseas and we're in Afghanistan. There's stuff around me I can't show you, so I can't. You know, right now the white backdrop is just pretty much the safest thing I can show you. I probably should put like an American flag or something up, but you know, that's probably the only thing I can really show you right now. So I'm kind of static to this position right now. So in the goal account is mainly for, we have a wedding coming up, goal, and we want to take a vacation. Since we have the wedding coming up, I'm pretty sure the vacation is going to pretty much be our honeymoon. We're going to go out together. But we put money in there together to save for stuff that we want. Now, goals could be anything. I mean, it could be a new car. Ideally, you should save for a new car anyway. You know, it could be anything you want. And I'm one of those people that I don't mind making extra bank accounts. So let's say like my car's paid off right now. I have a Jeep, but soon I'm going to start looking into a new Jeep because my Jeep's a 2009, and the only reason it's going so well is because I'm deployed all the time. I never drive it. But at some point I have to look into getting another Jeep. So what I want to do, what I think I'm going to do is build or have the bank create another savings account. It's just going to be my Jeep fund. What I'm going to do is figure out how much a monthly payment for a Jeep is on average, and it's probably like $300-400 a month. And I'm going to start saving that in advance. $300-400. Like and if I can get 2 more years out of my Jeep, that means I'll have over like $6,000 at the. Yeah, if I say $400, I'll have over $6,000. I'll have $7,200 actually at the end of 2 years. Well, that's a significant down payment. I mean, that can bring my down payment, that can bring my monthly payment down by like $50-75. So that's what we're kind of doing with that. And the reason I like having separate accounts for different things is because it helps me stay organized. You might not need it, and I'm not saying that my way is the best way. The best way to do this is whatever way works for you to achieve the goals you want to achieve. There's not one way that fixes them all. There really isn't. And anybody who does tell you that, oh, well, this is the very best way for everybody, I haven't heard anybody say that, but if somebody did say it, they're just wrong. It's just not the way it works. The idea is to develop your own system, and with that system, work it the way that you want to work it. And as much as I talk about money and how much I love personal finance and stuff like that, you gotta enjoy your life. So make sure that when you're saving, I don't want to tell you to not put money into an emergency account. I'm just saying make sure you have money for you too. If you like to travel, you can travel for pretty cheap actually. If you like to travel, you can travel for pretty cheap. I think this is not a plug, but even Groupon has some pretty cheap travel arrangements, and I don't know how cheap you can get different traveling things down. One of my flaws is that when my fiance and I do travel, we tend to go a little bit more bougie with it. So we'll stay at a nice hotel because one of our favorite things to do is after we get done exploring a town or a city all day, is we like to go back to the hotel and go to the bar and drink, and then just go up to our room. And the problem is, like, you can do a lot better staying at like a Motel 6 or like a Holiday Inn stuff, but they don't usually have those features. So we just tend not to stay there. But you can travel for pretty cheap. I mean, they have Bahamas for like a week all inclusive in the Bahamas, including airfare for like $1,100. I mean, a week in the Bahamas for $1,100 is, I mean, that's $120 a day. That's cheaper than what some hotels cost in the United States. That's not including travel, and then that's you eating and drinking and doing all the local stuff. So I'm totally for people traveling and doing whatever it is that they find fun. It's just that in my opinion, if you're going to do that, just plan it out and make sure you're budgeted for that. I would recommend do not have fun using your credit card. I have a credit card balance right now of $4,000. 3 months ago, I had $22,000 on my credit cards. I actually had 2 credit cards, about 10 on each. I managed to pay it all off. Pay it all off to about $4,000. And that's what I'm currently working on now. That's my new goal. In fact, next payday is 6 days away. So in 6 days, I expect to have a video made. Well, okay, so this video is made on May 14th. That's when I'm recording it. I don't know when I'm going to release it, because I'm probably not going to release it until about June. Why the delay, you may ask? It's because if I'm making videos about how to save money and all this other stuff, and financial videos, then I don't want to feel rushed in doing it. So I don't want to make a video that's due tomorrow. So what I want to do is have a pretty nice advance in videos. Also, I'm currently taking college classes while I'm out here. So if I have a paper to write, then the paper is going to trump whatever videos I'm going to make. So what I find is best is just knock out a bunch of videos at once, and then just edit them out, make them look however I want them to make them look. Unfortunately, I'm not great with video editing, so with this video I've had to stop and start a few times. I'm sure you're gonna see like the screen changes, or like the change. I'm sure you're gonna see the screen changes or the flash when it takes over, or when the new scene hits in. But I am gonna try and make them better, because there's a couple YouTubers that talk about financial stuff, and as much as I dislike most of them, there's a couple that are extremely good. Bigger Pockets podcast is amazing, and Stephen Graham is amazing. And I like the way they do their videos, but they also have a high quality to them. So while I want to talk more about myself and what I'm doing and what works for me, they talk more about what they're more educational. I'm more of talking about like my personal experience, and they're talking more about educational. They do a lot of research on their stuff, and I hope to get on their level at one point. But it's a high bar to set if you ever watch any of their videos. So back on the original topic of the different savings accounts. So that's how I set mine up, and that's how I organize my savings. Now, those 4 things are all different than my long-term savings. Long-term savings are completely different. On another video, I mentioned how 30% of my income goes to long-term savings. Only 30% is divided up into the 4 accounts I told you before. 30% is my job right now gives me a 401k, which is great, and I also I've been getting more invested in like my personal stocks, especially with Corona and the stock market being down. I know some people are worried that's going to continue to go down, and I'll talk more about like my strategy there with dividend investing and stuff like that. But I also invest in property is a good thing. I've been trying to get involved in some of the other investment things like silver. Like I bought a bunch of silver coins. But I bought silver coins because when silver coins first became a thing, it was like, I don't know, like $40 a coin. I'm like, I'm not buying it for $40 a coin. It seems like it's at its peak, and I was right, it was at peak. So then it dropped down to about 20. So I'm like, okay, half price, I'll buy it now. But then it's gone down even further. So I'm not sure. I'm dabbling in cryptocurrency right now, but it's really early to be telling you anything about that. Unfortunately, cryptocurrency markets are just so volatile, and it's 100% speculation. You know, it's 100%. The entire value is based less off utility and more off what people just think it should be. It kind of reminds me of the diamond market, and everybody, you know, diamonds and at least gold has a use, but diamonds, I don't know, I don't really like in precious gems. But that's what my other 30% goes to. So I think I'll make another video going into detail about my long-term investments. But short-term investments, organize it however you want. If you're having a hard time with it, set up different accounts. Most banks will let you set up 2 or 3 different savings accounts, and then you can just label the savings accounts. Like my bank lets me nickname all of my savings accounts to whatever I want. So I have one reserve. I have my emergency account's not actually with my bank; it's with Acorns, as we previously discussed. And then my reserve and my savings and my goals are all with my bank. And luckily, me and my fiance have the same bank, so I can make transfers pretty easily throughout. So come up with a system that works for you. If you have a different system or something that we haven't discussed that you think might work better or works better for you, then let me know, man. I would love to know. I'll talk about personal finances all day long. Whatever you guys want to share to make me better at what I'm trying to accomplish, or that I can share to make other people better at what they're trying to accomplish. Yeah, let's talk about it and try to figure out what we can do here. Anyway, I think that finishes up for this video. So have a good day and keep saving.